My name is Claire, and this is my LIS 889 Digital Curation final presentation. I centered my digital archival collection around the play Harry and the Thief by Sigrid Gilmer. The subtitle of this collection is Digital Dramaturgy because I am looking at digital archival collections through the eyes of a dramaturg. The dramaturg is a member of an artistic team producing a theatrical show of some kind who connects the world of the play to the rest of the members of the artistic team, the actors, and the audience. For actors and designers, this could look like supplying information about the time period of the play or cultural, social, economic, political implications of the words in the play or what happens surrounding the play. On the audience side, this could look like creating lobby displays to look at before the play or after the play, or writing program notes about different aspects of the play. Different kinds of dramaturgy will serve different productions, depending on if your playwright is alive or not, or if the play has multiple translations or came from another language. There are a lot of different aspects that go into dramaturgy, and a lot of different ways dramaturgs can serve as sort of bridges to the playwright's intentions and what the audience ends up seeing. One way dramaturgs construct different play worlds is by using annotated scripts. This is a packet of paper, essentially, that is given to actors and production teams for them to better understand playwright intentions. And it's a lot of defining different words that are in the script, defining different actions or events that happen in the script or in the story in order for actors and designers to create a realer, better production. Some of it is script analysis, and like I said, some of it is connecting cultural and social movements or specific historic events to what happens in the play. Here are a few examples of annotated scripts that I've created in my past. The top right one comes from American Idiot, the musical, and a lot of that was defining different elements of words in the script, such as explaining what Spike TV is to folks who don't know what Spike TV is, explaining why office drudges is a funny thing to say to call a person, right, in a cubicle. On the left, we've got a Better Homes and Gardens allusion in a text, so I brought up some editions of Better Homes and Gardens to really better comprehend what we're talking about in that script. And the lower left-hand screenshots are just examples of what an annotated script could look like in the physical world. And this is why it's really cool to have a digital version of an annotated script or a digital archival collection that really focuses on items from a script or different ideas from a script, because you don't have to deal with all this paperwork, right? Within the first few weeks of rehearsing a play, actors and designers will get a lot of different paperwork, and that is from producers, and it's from legal teams, and it's from different members of the artistic team, like the dramaturg, the director, maybe a choreographer, maybe a costume designer, maybe a makeup artist. There's a lot of different paperwork that could be flowing. So a digital approach really sets the dramaturg's work apart by using the digital collection, which I think is really cool as well. Here's a lovely screenshot of my Omeka collection. The description is essentially what I've been telling you so far, while also including a primary audience, the people putting on this lovely production of Harry and the Thief, or any production of Harry and the Thief, right? A secondary audience could also be audience members. A dramaturg could, for example, link to this collection, and audience members could scroll through the digital collection items after a production in order to better understand the world of the play, which would be a really cool way to use this collection. Harry and the Thief is a play about a 21st century physicist who sends his thief cousin back in time via time machine to give Harriet Tubman guns and ammunition to support her cause. It's an awesome play. It's hilarious. It's black comedy, but there are also different comedic elements in there. There's a little bit of slapstick, a little bit of farce, a really good time. There's a lot of different allusions to different items and events in pop culture. For example, the names that Sigrid Gilmer has given to the slaves in Harriet Tubman's timeline are the names of Brangelina's children. So Knox, Vivian, Shiloh, for example. The other cool part of this play is the multiple settings, right? We've got Harriet Tubman in the 1850s and 1860s, specifically in this play. And then you also have the 21st century cousin duo who are really messing with history and trying to get them a better outcome, essentially. The final bullet here could be done for any play. I really do believe that this digital archival collection approach to dramaturgy could be done with any play that you would like to, essentially. Imagine Shakespeare or a Chekhov play being dissected through primary and secondary digital objects that are related to the text in one way or another. I think that would be really, really cool, and I would love to do it to every single play that's on my shelf behind me, but alas, we only have so much time. So here are a few different item types, well, all of the item types that are included in my digital archival collection. This is the resource class in Omeka, that's what they call it, and I had a really good time selecting different items for this collection. I especially love the diversity of objects that I chose. I think it's pretty even among the categories. Text objects are going to be the most because of the primary documents included in this collection specifically, and the amount of information. I've got 3 or 4 items that are specifically about the playwright that help us better understand where she's coming from, where her mindset is when she was writing this play, and what she thinks about productions that have happened of Harry and the Thief, which are all really helpful things to understand and know if you are putting a production on yourself. In the next slides, I'm going to go through all of these different categories and just show you one example from each category that I included, because some of these items are really, really fun. For example, I mean, this one's less fun, more just really educational and moving and amazing, honestly. This is one of the text items that I included, Scenes in the Life of Harriet Tubman, the electronic edition by Sarah H. Bradford. This was written in 1869, and it was digitized by Duke University as part of this Documenting the American South collection. It's got it's a huge collection. They did an amazing job too, in my opinion, of getting everything, making everything electronic, which is, I can just imagine, right? Obviously, this is going to be a very crucial primary resource to use when creating a character like Harriet Tubman for the stage specifically, right? This is not the Harriet Tubman you and I read about. This is a dramatized Harriet Tubman that sings George Michael songs, that has guns given to her by a person from a time machine, right? Like this is a Harriet Tubman that only Sigrid Gilmer could create. And still, Gilmer has infused this character with real scenes from Harriet Tubman's life, which is really cool to read about in this primary resource. The other reason this one is really cool is because it was written by, and it was digitized by women. So that's really cool. And I think that's really awesome. I realized that as I was putting all the metadata in. Here is my still image example that I would like to show you guys. This is another primary resource, a digitized map from 1857 showing the Delaware and Maryland borders, as well as counties in Maryland, which is really cool. You can also see rivers and different mountain ranges in the upper left-hand corner there. Again, really crucial to know as someone who is playing Harriet Tubman or is someone who is trying to build a world for Harriet Tubman to like really actualize what she was doing at this time. And this map is perfect, coming from 1857, and specifically in the play we're in 1858 a lot, so I thought it was going to be really helpful to see maps from that time. Next, we've got a moving image. This is one of multiple YouTube videos I included in this collection. This is the lovely Millie Peartree, who has a series with Food 52 called Behind the Recipe, where she deep dives into a specific dish. And not only does she walk through creating the dish in her kitchen right here, she also connects with a scholar to learn more about the history of the plate. And hoe cakes are specifically mentioned in the Harry and the Thief script multiple times within the first few scenes. There's also an allusion to a possible poisoning via hoe cake in one of the scenes. So it was really important to include something like this in case anyone on the producing team wants to make one themselves or really understand how they're better made, and how their character could have possibly poisoned one. Next, we've got the George Michael song that I mentioned before. This is one of the sound examples from my digital collection. Freedom 90 is a song originally published in 1990 from the album Listen Without Prejudice Volume 1. I did include for sounds links to Apple Music songs because I really wanted to emphasize like the sound specific aspect of the object, right? Like I didn't want to link to a YouTube video that would also be possibly included as a moving image, even though that would have sufficed. And I also know that limits people. Only folks with Apple Music could be able to play the source links that I have in my archival collection. But this could just be a stand-in to, go add it to your Spotify playlist if it were being used in a real-life example for a real-life production. Again, Gilmer is just really awesome, including significant late 20th century music in a production where Harriet Tubman is the one singing the George Michael songs. Just awesome, just really cool, and great to hear if you don't know this song and you need to produce it on the stage. Finally, the fifth category is the interactive resource. This is Harriet Tubman used owl calls as a signal on the Underground Railroad. Technically, it's like a web page article published on the Audubon Institution. I counted it as an interactive resource because a user would have to click on a play button in order to hear the bird calls. So it is an interactive resource. I'm deciding it right now. And really cool. This highlights something that's not necessarily spoken about in the play. Specifically, bird signals are not mentioned, but signals of a general kind are mentioned with Harriet Tubman and the enslaved people that she is with within that part of the script. So I thought it was important to include some examples of different kinds of signals Harriet Tubman could have done. And this article is extremely interesting and connects it to a really cool naturalist aspect that highlights Harriet Tubman's naturalism, given naturalism within her. Amazing. So that's all of my 5 items that I wanted to show you guys. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation and for looking through the digital collection if you do look through it, and also for this lovely semester we've had together. I hope everyone has a good and safe summer.